Mahila, big downloads today. Big Jonathan Clegg downloads. I'm sorry I haven't been able to keep up with it. Gosh, everything is so converging that you have my deal that's just, you know, almost perfect. Sorry for the rectangle today. I put it twice, and then for Dawn in the laminate, I put on Google Meet is what I put for Dawn. And I added some stuff that the Aussie Prime Minister was saying um, about Russia. And I also added something about a guy named Dan Patrick in Texas. I added some commentary that he was talking about politics. And I gave that to Dawn for the laminate. So then there was a perfect Jason Voorhees. That's what happened tonight. There was a perfect Jason Voorhees. I saw a homeless man with a fry in his mouth that he got out of the trash can. And Jason is actually, without it being an angel, but I saw it as an angel. So that means that it goes back to the EE or the Y. Okay, I don't want to talk about this. I'm just trying to keep up, and I'm trying to be a good person because I think you guys are in the deal. And that's why I'm misreading some of the things you're saying as crazy because you're in the deal. And I am too. I'm at 990 right now until 4 a.m. So um or no until 6 a.m. It's a little later than the February's. Um okay. So there it'll show up that there's an Eric Lynn Wright in the Taudio that died in Mexico. Now, what that means is that I think I cracked the code tonight that Jesus really was. I, look, the SS that what was the you know took the life before the trial, all that, and it's proven because she was Gondel, and Gondel was a 6, and then she had truth of G. Now, the truth of G is the canon from today, and it's a Netophathite. And what the Netophathite was that they were like Van Helsing of the Meadows, of Benji. Benji Barnes. Benji Barnes. Benji Barnes. And it's kind of funny, but so, or they were evil with them. I couldn't really tell, but that they were enmity or something of the Meadows. Okay, so Jesus knew that. He or she knew that that he would be Brahma for 5 days of the Smyrna 10, and that he would be Brahma for 5 days, and that would be a complete 10 days. And for the Smyrna, that's what that means. and it's for the seals, sealed on the front and on the back, one sheet. Um, it's just been a lot today because I just don't know if I'm gonna cut off or what. I mean, I keep thinking about that Maya Rudolph SB, and I'm thinking that there was something to that. That it's the greaseball stuff, but really, what is the greaseball is getting killed over and over. That's the greaseball stuff of it. That's why Friday the 13th is written that way, because they knew, okay, they need to be in the Greek system of that they're canon for what they show. They knew that. Even Austin Powers, they show some real stuff. They do. It's not all like it doesn't matter. It all is canon. Like what they show, they represent. So, um, I don't want to waste your time. You know, I don't know the Michelle. Okay, the Michelle. You know that comes from the court the other day. That um, because I said only a few minor traffic violations. That's what I said. Since no crime since 2016. So the Michelle is that's the wag is of it, but it's really Mitch without of the cartilage hair, hypoplasia, hobbit capri, and I don't want to. I don't want to go over it. So um, I'm just thinking, is that what it is, or is it that it's the Michelle sword? Okay, from from the fitness center, you know, and that like it's the sword, and so then what was the I can't think of the middle name now. Michelle something Tadio. I can't think of it. I don't know. Michelle something Tadio. I can't think of it. I don't know. It slipped my mind now. But anyway, it's a ta, and it's a key or us, o or use key or use so. I'm not sure. Well, I don't know. Key or you so. Man, I might really be in a tight spot here. You know, this might really be a tight spot because, um, yeah, this is really a bad spot here, is what I'm thinking. Yeah, I'm thinking this is really something. Um, how do we? Hmm. Man, this is a real bad spot here. I don't know because Grox he made the video with the dogs, but the dogs were looking like BHB. I don't understand that. I don't. And then Mark Lawn again in the news. I don't understand that either. How could it be that cutthroat that it would only be that you're flying high for a day? That doesn't make any sense to me. And if it was a spiritual thing anyway, how does that work? That makes it seem like it's nearly impossible with polo. Like that seems to be nearly impossible. Like to play and like why would God do that? Like here, I'll give you all this information, and your job will be, to be a witness on YouTube, like to tell the story, and what you're going to do as your profession will be impossible, and you'll only make it when everyone's fucked off. Like that's not God, man. Like that's not God. Like I'm not being mean or anything. I'm just saying, like, that's not how God works. Like, yes, there's flooding and like, yes, things are really hard, but like it would not be that we're waiting on one person. Like that it just like that something about that isn't right, man. Like that world is so, it must be just so corrupt or something. Like I don't know. I don't really understand what that is. Like how could it be that he's Lon again? Like that, it just doesn't make sense. Like I'm assuming he won the polo game, and like went from there to a meeting or something, and it just seems like it's nearly impossible. That, like that doesn't make sense to me. God, that's not how God works. I'm not saying God is completely seasonal, but like something isn't right with that whole situation. And I'm really worried. Like, I'm I'm worried about the women, man. Like, I told my mom today, I'm really worried, man. Like, I'm really worried. I don't think I don't think I've been this worried since I had OCD. And uh, it's not a real like 51 type thing. It's more like a worry on my heart. I don't know. Like, I don't it's not like horrible yet, but like it could be. I don't know. So, like, the way I'm feeling, I'm saying, I don't know. I'm just, like, this whole Kachina thing, the star or whatever. I just think I must have missed the boat on the whole thing. I don't know, man. Like, but then I know that it's not like that. The reality of what Jesus is does not come down to you have to look up at a star. So I'm concerned. Um, yeah, I'm concerned. I just huh. Yeah. Well, it's going to be what it's going to be, and we just have to, do the best we can. I mean, like, I drove tonight, and this is all I can do. I had like 2, 3 meals tonight. I mean, I'm just like dizzy dazed, at this point. So, like, I was writing the stuff down about Jesus at the gas station, and then this guy got out of the car that had his camo. He had his ACU on, and um, he had the Velcro showing on the no patches on the chest, and he was driving a civilian car, and like he got gas, and then suddenly I was like super hungry, and I had to go get McDonald's, and then that's whenever that happened. Cause I kind of got mad in the car. I was like, there's no sign in, England, like the SCAD, the SCAD recruit. He's probably like, what the fuck happened? Like, cause he caused that Fox News thing cause he was so worried about it. And he's about to cut off, and then he's like, I'm waiting for the guy, the mug guy, Brock, and he knew about Alex, and he's like, I'm waiting for it to be all three of us going against the Revelation 17. And I'm like, and then there was no sign. Like, there was no sign even for him. And he was so worried, and like, he thought I was going to be late or something, and he knew I wasn't using a computer, and like, and then on the NPR, like, it went to um a flood warning with no wording in it, and then it was like, Putin's not gonna meet with Biden because Biden called it off, and there's not going to be a summit. So I was like, okay, it's getting real hot. And then they announced that Taddeo had died in Mexico. And then that the guy that was like a non-dis African deviant in McDonald's had painted his nails and gave me my food, and like, it was the same McDonald's that I saw that tan about at. And that was like the 321 DD and H hug thing that was going on, and looky Lou. And so then I was looking at the 98, and then I'm like, this 98, you can read it because it's got that B at the end. It's like, you can read it as that it's for a deal, talking about like the 5 or 6 months before this all started in June 8th of 2019. And then it's talking about like won the 50 free or something, and like, it's talking about everything that's with the dreams, like the champion part of it. And then um but then you read it another way, and it's like, all the girls are going to be getting with the enmity, like it's all over, and like I fucked up or something. And like, I'm so worried. Like, I can just feel it on my heart. Like, my heart is worried in my head. Like, it's like I'm really on edge in my heart, but like, on my body physically, it's a heightened sense of things. But gosh, like, I don't think I felt this worried since I had OCD. And like, I don't know. I mean, the wedding feast, I mean, man, like, I don't really want to go. I mean, this is really bad. Like, it's going to be horrible there. Like, like this, I'm seeing things that are like, people are going to, have to do A-Way and all this stuff, A-Way. And like, I saw some stuff that was like, God is going to be like, since you wanted to judge, now I'm going to judge, and then we'll see how we judge you next. And I'm like, no, God, like, I'm not the judge. Like, I want grace and mercy. And he's like, well, your heart or something, like, your heart. And I don't know. Like, I'm just really, like, really worried, man. Like, I'm ready to just, like, get off all this stuff and just be like, no, I'm just gonna, you know, I don't know. I'm feeling drawn to like a peace pipe, like that ASAP Rocky stuff, like. And I said about the fiberglass and all that, I don't know what to do. I can't, but I don't need to be eating 3 meals at night, 3 meals at night. I mean, it's crazy. Tonight was. Like, it's too much. Like, I'm just getting killed left and right. Like, this is insane. And we even had a perfect Jason Voorhees. Like, man, it's just. No, I'm not talking about Jason Anderson. Like, I'm not talking about him. I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about the movie, what they made that movie for, and made the character and the whole thing. Like, it's, man, this is crazy. Like, I mean, my brother's getting ready to have a kid in a couple days. And we got all this shit going on in the world. And he's having a kid. I mean, they're thinking that I'm in my brother's body, or I'm gonna be, and they're thinking he sent the text, and like they're thinking this whole switch happened. Like, that is all bullshit. Like, man, like that's what it is. They think that we switched and I'm going into great tribulation, and that he like texted all the girls. If that Michelle is the sword, that's what that means. That's not made up, Ben or Mr. T or Grox. That's not made up. That's what it means. Like, there was even a flood warning before they announced that Michelle had died. And it wasn't like, oh, these areas are affected. It was just flood warning. And then go right into it. It was like, yeah, Hoover Dam, like, be ready. Like, that was it. Man. Man, like, if they got to go through like the A way, or any sort of way, as a throne and staff, or as the uh water scroll, that ain't good. I ain't cool with that. That they would be stuck. I I sat there in the kitchen and listened to SL on the phone, or not on the Google Meet, and we couldn't see each other, but she's scared out of her mind, man. She's scared out of her mind because of me. Because of me. None of it is her fault. Everything she said, her desire is for the person that didn't take the apple, and her everything she said, I could pick up all the code of it. At this point in my life, I can say I stood on the code, picking it up afterwards. Not in the moment, though, but afterwards, when I thought about it, and I listened to everything she said, and I, like, it's that the man rules over Eve. That's what I noticed. And I think that the guy from England who was saying mug on his recruit trip, I think that he went through that too at the same time, and that we're both against the 17, chosen, faithful, and called, and Alex. And I think that, like, like, I think he's going through the deal now. He was waiting for me to, because he had he had a Brian as the dad, and he also had um the other Chesley Chris from Alabama that died. So, and may she be with Jesus. That's horrible. I know. Zoe. And like um the like nothing is their fault. Like it's I don't want them to have to go through more and be trapped and not free. That's not fair. That's not fair because the serpent tricked all them. That's not fair. And I told you on my channels that the wedding feast is nothing to fuck around about. And it's not all taken care of. It's not. God is I don't even know if God's going to be there. This is some real shit. I'm not joking. Like it sounds like a stupid bullshit joke, but it's not. Like this is some real serious shit. Like this depends on man. Look, I don't even want to go here. Just forget it, man. I look. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, man. I don't even know what the hell I'm talking about. You know, it's probably all fine. It's probably not anything like what I'm saying. It's not, man. It's not. It's Psalm 20 it's Psalm 23. It's not. It's a safe place. It's a safe man, it's not. Of course it's a safe place anyway because it's new immortal body. I'm just saying like you can feel safe that you're taken care of in your future when you're there. I don't know why God has put it on my heart that like something is wrong with it. I'm really upset about that. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I look, and for everyone with the springs, like I'm sorry, man. I don't know what my deal is. I don't. I'm sorry. I don't know what my deal is. Something has just got me on this weird thing about it. I don't know. See, when I was a kid, all that was like extra to me. Like it didn't even like cross my mind. Like it's like, yeah, and then we'll do that or do this and it'll be fine, whatever. But I don't know. Now it's like any little thing can get messed up, I guess cuz I've got the pectus carinatum. It's like I feel any little thing that's like out of whack and then it becomes bigger things later on, cuz you've got this, stupid Kachina Star that everyone looked at and Betty White and all this shit that I'm not into at all and don't know how it works because I didn't do it. So, and I'm a big guy. Like I don't work out or whatever and I think everyone else is if they didn't look at the star. So I fucked up in that way too. I mean, I guess that means I took the mark or something. I don't know. It's just and then I think of like what like Hourly Watch says he's like cover your arms. So I guess that means that he did look at the star, and like so don't show your flesh like you're like I don't know. Or maybe that means he didn't look at the star. I can't hardly figure anything out, man. It all looks like it could be the opposite. So, that's the point we're at right now. Everything is converging to where it's gonna divide, but it's like it's a big mess kind of thing. Like, all right, thank you.